and welcome to Sequel Pitch, a film podcast in which friends pitch sequels to movies that don't have them and then argue it out to see who the winning Earthling will be. Joining me on this vacation is a man that is going to pound your face, break every bone in your body, then you're going to drag your across a gravel road and feed my remains to a warthog. It's Matt Rushton.
The Hulk maniac's coming for you, brother.
Lock away your antifreeze. It's Andy Henry.
Best joke in the movie. Let's get on. I want to talk about this movie.
And last but not least, not even a K7 force field can hold him. It's Drew Toynbee.
Hello, everyone. I'm
Now,
really ill.
Yeah, Drew is really ill, but he wanted to talk about this movie so much. But he may just randomly disappear in this episode. Who knows? We'll see.
I'll try not to. I will try not to, but I have the plague.
This episode, we are celebrating the Halloween season by pitching and reviewing sequels to the 1991 sci-fi action comedy Suburban Commando, starring Hulk Hogan, and I don't know how, but Christopher Lloyd and Shelley Duvall. I don't know how
horrific.
they got them. In case you haven't seen it, then we do a 60-second synopsis. So, here we go. Steroid-induced Shep Ramsey, played by Hulk Hogan, is on a mission to capture intergalactic General Suter. The general has kidnapped President Hashina, the ruler of an entire planet. Shep boards Suter's flagship and takes an elevator all the way to the top for some reason. There's an elevator on this fucking... the president decides to throw an envelope so hard at General it cuts his hand off, and then the general turns into a lizard man and kills the president. Shep gets told that he needs a vacation. He breaks his ship in anger and lands on Earth when he realizes he'll have to stay until a spacecraft is repaired. Then we meet Charlie Wilcox, a weak-willed architect who can't get a raise, and then Shep rents Charlie's spare vacation cabin. Charlie starts spying on Shep, finds his ship, turns it on, and then it calls the bounty hunter Undertaker to come after Shep. Shep also needs the MacGuffin of some crystals that Charlie's boss has in his office, so Charlie helps him find those crystals. The bounty hunters come, there's a fight, and they defeat the bounty hunters. Charlie goes home to fix the ship, but not before General Suter arrives. Oh, yeah, he's alive. He takes Charlie's family hostage, forcing Charlie to lead him to Shep. Shep surrenders, gets beat up, but not before Charlie comes in to save the day, which gives Shep enough time to electrocute Suter. Then Shep leaves in the bounty hunter's ship. And there's lots of ships and Shep and ship and Shep and ship and Shep and ship. Charlie then shouts at his boss and quits and shoots a traffic light. And that's it.
I mean, I can't believe it took you over 60 seconds to synopsis this movie, man.
Yeah, I know, sorry. So, let's go round and give our brief...
the really insane bits, though.
Yeah.
There were lots.
Let's go round and give our brief feelings and scores out of this movie out of 5. I'm assuming it's going to be a high one. You're guaranteed it's going to get a 5 from me, baby. Let's go with Drew first.
This is a film that I have now seen.
One of the greatest.
It has impressively low production value. Dead-eye performances from absolutely everyone.
90s.
No inventiveness in the visuals. This 90-minute movie is 85 minutes too long. But I am still going to give it two maliciously thrown newspapers out of 5, because I did chuckle occasionally. Like, it is bad. I wouldn't recommend it, but it deserves something.
Thank you, Drew. Matt, what did you think?
It's what I texted you guys earlier. I watched it again today to prepare myself for this mentally, because the first time I watched it, I was ready to give this a 0.1 out of 5. Like, it was just like everything about it was off and horrible and just unbearable watching. But then I kind of went, hang on a minute, Charlie Sheen did Hot Shots, and that kind of feels like this kind of film. So I was like, okay, maybe it's actually just out there to completely take the piss out of itself. And if that's the case, I'm like, well, I kind of feel like I need to give it a 5.1 out of 5 because it is so bad, it's good. So I kind of find myself in a really difficult position, and I'm going off the basis that it was surely it can't think of itself as a good film. So on the basis that it's a bad film, I'm going to score it 3.1, just a recommendation because it is bad. But I got to give it 3.1 flung cats from a tree.
Nice. Andy.
I was expected to come into a typical shitty 90s movie. And I came out with genuinely maybe one of my new favourite movies.
This is why we can't take your movie reviews seriously. This is if you call this a fucking favourite movie, this is the kind of shit we have to deal with, listeners. All right?
I did what you did, Matt. I first watched it and I was like, "Oh, this is definitely like 90s bad," but it does have like good, genuine jokes and stuff like that. And then like there's some bits where it's definitely like there's a Hot Shots or Naked Gun kind of like comedy sense, which only happens with like certain jokes. So I rewatched it with that with that in mind. Like what Matt said, I didn't know if it was taking itself seriously first of all, or if the little jokes were just little jokes. So yeah, I rewatched it, loved it. I'm not going to give it a 5 because it's definitely shit, but not as shit as you think, and very enjoyable shit. You gave it a 3.1, Matt. So fuck you. I'm only going to give it 2.5 little Hulk Hogan braids behind his ear. Which when you see that, it's hard to take him seriously. So.
Thank
so
you.
You don't recommend it, even though it's your favourite movie of all
I'm
time.
middle. That's the thing. If you've got 90
so
minutes
confused
and
by
you've got
you sometimes.
nothing else to do, you won't say you've wasted your time. But if you literally be like, I say it's either this: you watch this or you read a book. It's a bit like, oh well, I could read a book. Oh, I don't want to read a book. I want to watch a movie. But the movie's Suburban Commando. Well, I'm going to read a book. No, I don't want to read a book.
I'd paint dry if this was a genuinely serious film. Like, this is only getting a good score for me because it's so bad.
There's so much I want to get into in the big,
has to be put in the
review
bargain bin section of any fucking movie rental.
Well,
business.
Drew said it's got no visual because it steals everything from Star Wars. This was originally going to be Arnie Schwarzenegger as Danny DeVito. Yeah, but they for some reason took another little small film called Twins. God.
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's great. It's
this would have been better with Arnie and Danny DeVito in it.
I don't know because I think it would have been.
It would have had more budget if they had been. If they had been attached,
definitely.
And it might have helped.
100%.
I pictured Danny DeVito as the Undertaker's character, right?
Yeah. I am going to, obviously, because I recommended this movie, as a film that these guys should see, and I'm going to give it 5 finger guns when he hears lasers going off out of 5. And that's right.
The arcade, because he has nothing. He's just holding it an invisible gun. As in, I don't know if that's like his instincts coming in, but he realizes he's got no gun, but his hands just go that naturally. Or
give it up, Dragos.
Or they were just
give it up, Dragos.
In the editing room, they were just like, oh shit, we've got to give Hulk a gun. Ah, it doesn't matter.
So
that's his alert stance.
Yeah. So screw you. I'm bringing it up. The average.
This is going to be rated so fucking high. I'm so happy.
Is this going to be another episode where we just argue with Ross about the cult classic versus the classic movie?
This is a cult classic, definitely. This is a Hulk classic.
Yeah, Hulk classic.
What does that leave us?
It leaves us with 3.28 out of 5.
There you go. Nice. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it's. I will concede that had we watched this movie at university, I bet there are about 1 million excellent drinking games that could be played to this film.
Yeah.
And it's got that going for it.
Welcome to our full review of Suburban Commando. You're going to hear our full thoughts. I'm going to give you all of mine because I've got a massive list of things that I want to talk about and just random bits that happened in the movie that I really like as well. I'll start it off with so notes on film. I just put one was elevator on a ship. Doesn't make sense. Why is there an elevator like a normal elevator? It's not even like a Star Trek elevator. It's just like a industrial elevator. The letter of death as well. The
envelope of death.
The thing I don't understand about Suter is he's more powerful when he's a lizard. So why would he just not be a lizard all the time?
Power Ranger.
Budgetary constraints.
Yeah, that's it. It's like this movie is so. It just reminds me of a pantomime because it's so
fucking
so
Shep's
ridiculous.
costume / armor, which is like two pan lids over his pecs and then something over his like balls. I think that's basically it, connected by like rope. I can't imagine Arnie going like, yeah, I'll have that. That'd be fine.
No,
they would have had much more money if they
bloody Conan instead. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the opening. The opening straight off gives you an impression that, like what Drew said, like it's got no fucking like originality. Where it steals so much from Star Wars. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't get sued. They must have got like.
I think that I do think that quite effectively telegraphs that this is not something you're meant to take seriously.
Yeah, but like
surely they were doing that. They're like, right, we need the quickest way to tell people that we're making. I think they did make it kind of naff on purpose in a lot of ways, and I do feel like that's the case. But they weren't good enough at making it bad.
Yeah.
Firmly.
Like if they're gonna do like a spoof of a bad movie, like it kind of felt like it was taking itself seriously at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the thing, like the whole Naked Gun, like Hot Shots comedy that me and Matt were like talking about, where some of it is like genuinely
I don't ever
funny,
feel like
kind of
Naked Gun and Hot Shots took itself seriously though. I felt like this sometimes did, or at least I felt like Hulk
that's what I say,
Hogan was
like,
taking this really seriously.
There was some jokes which were definitely like that, but then we just didn't like.
Well, I think
like
Christopher
PG,
Lloyd's character is definitely much more like he's a little bit like he's serious, and there's bits where he's like you like. There's actually some good bits in it where Christopher Lloyd's like, you brought these people to my planet, and you're gonna get them killed. Like I can't help you. And then like Hulk obviously ruins it with his acting, but
he's a tough guy.
He's really bad. He's real bad.
Do you know what I love? At the start, the first introduction we get is like, I think like the typical hero shot starts at his feet, goes up, and we see all the costume. Then he shoots some people, and he probably punches them and stuff, and he kicks them through a wall. Oh, this guy's so hard. He gets hit once and goes down. Yeah, and then he gets like dogpiled basically, and I'm like, this is our
worst hero. He goes into save the president. The president
is
dies.
That his job though?
No.
His job was to stop Suter, but he was like, an innocent person, fuck it. And we're like,
because he fucking, like, the bad guy walks up to him and grabs him round the neck, and I was like, all right, this is where he dives over there and wrestles the lizard off, and he just fucking dips out. He's like, nope, see ya, runs up, rips a vent off the wall, and just dives through it, presumably while this president of a planet is being throttled slowly to death.
He doesn't even get in trouble.
He's definitely still alive when he
boss...
leaves, isn't he? He's definitely still alive when he leaves as well. It's not even like it's
he doesn't even try.
He blows up on the ship. Yeah,
and then his boss is like, and you know the old Shep wouldn't have let the president die. And then he's like, oh, but it's fine. It's not your fault. It's fine. It's okay. You just need a holiday.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Go for a vacation.
With different delivery, that could be really funny, but there isn't enough artistry in the editing or performances or one or the other to actually convey that. So it just felt so fucking weird. Just like, what?
Oh, it gets weirder. So then we're going through this movie because I love all the
beat
so
by
Shep
beat.
Yeah, Shep lands, like, he goes on vacation, then they play that fucking, like, we're down plenty of sunshine.
Yeah, the
and then he's like,
the soundtrack in this movie is all weird.
He starts walking around, and then he finds a dog in a car, and then the guy goes, get out, shut up, Ralph. And then he puts the guy in the car, and then the guy shouts out Ralph, like Ralph is going to go.
Dog's gonna help him.
But
like,
also, Arnie
Ralph!
takes off his armor then, off screen, and just loses it for like the rest of the. Oh no, he's got it like somehow.
He hides it. He stashes it
Where did I miss that?
in his
he
clothes.
puts-
He puts clothes over the top because he has to have it later in his ship.
Oh, maybe I
He-
forgot that. I just
he
remember him
takes-
walking away, and I don't see
He
like the
takes the
silver
guy's
tinfoil.
Yeah,
He
takes
puts the
guy's
muzzle on the
clothes.
guy, takes all of his clothes, and puts it
Oh,
over the
okay.
armor.
It's a good thing that fat overweight guy was the same.
Yeah,
like
was
he had the
6'7".
yeah. Like,
I love
fucking
the
hell.
restaurant allows the dog just to eat there and the food and stuff, and then like
Yeah.
see again,
yeah.
like
See,
if it was a bit
this
like the
bit
Naked Gun,
I-
a waiter would have brought like the bill afterwards or something. And just be
Yes,
like, when you're ready, sir. That's what we needed. That's what again, yeah.
Yeah, and then
but I enjoyed
um,
that, and then I hate the very next thing that happens, and I'll let Ross explain exactly
No!
what it is.
Is it the apartment bit?
well, then he
sign.
finds an old style wanted poster like on the side of
mate.
on the wall.
Yeah.
And I was like,
What
why
does it
is
say though? What does it say?
I can't even remember.
It says
What
apartment to rent and an arrow, and
Just
that's
an arrow.
it. Like apartment
no
to rent.
indication where the
The right,
apartment
and he
is.
literally just stops walking down a road and appears at the
hate
right
it.
place.
Like
hate
downtown
it.
Santa Monica or something, and then shows up at the correct house in the suburbs.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. God.
So then he gets the apartment, and then then they're all talking like in the house, and then the mailman posts something through the biggest letterbox you've ever seen in your life,
Yeah.
and he pulls the fucking guy's
Well, no,
arm
there's
through
a bit before. This is now like they fish out of water, so like Hulk's
Yeah.
not used to everyday life, even though he knows Earth because he hates Earthlings and stuff. And something happens, like a toaster pops, and he's not aware. Oh no, Shelley Duvall was watching a sitcom or
talk
something
show.
about a talk show about screaming. So she screams as it's the new therapy, which Hulk comes in and thinks she's under like attack or something. Yeah, and then the postman puts it, and he tries to cut the arm off the postman, and then Shelley Duvall's just like, "Oh well, I'm gonna go back inside," and then you're like. What? No! Would you be like that? What the fuck are you doing to Ted? Go,
This
Ted,
huge
run.
man has a knife, Shelley.
Yeah.
He's got a
I think-
knife.
I like the postman when he's just like, "Oh my god, you should stop your caffeine like intake or something."
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was quite an instant, a funny reaction. But yeah, I was waiting for Shelley Duvall to kind of go like, "What the fuck was that, Hulk?" But she was like, "Oh,
Oh, Shep.
back to the sitcom,
You
the talk
wacky
show."
guy.
Yeah,
You wacky, yeah. And then then there's basically the movie. The actual plot is about 30 minutes of this movie. The other 30
Yeah.
minutes is Hulk Hogan just walking around, just
Doing good
interacting with random things.
I
You know
love
what the
it.
best part
a
is?
night mime,
This is a
night
90-minute
mime
movie.
Yes.
in the fucking alleyway. Why is he miming at night in an alleyway? No one knows.
But it
Fucking
comes back.
ridiculous.
It comes back like 3 times. It's like do like that rule, and it's amazing. For me, I laughed every time because the second time I was like, "Oh my god, they're bringing it back," which means they have to bring it back a third time. And the third time, well, he tries to help the mime. The mime's in a box, and Arnie, Hulk's like, "Oh, I'll get you out of this force field."
I'll
Like
break the
smacks
force
him in the
field.
face because that will get him out rather than pull him or something like that. And the second time, the mime's got like a rope or something, and again he he's trying to climb the building with an imaginary rope,
and he
Hulk
throws him
him
up.
up. And then
And
the
then he
third time,
says-
he just runs, which was fucking hilarious. He's
Yeah.
just like, "No, fuck that."
The thing I did like about that joke is the mime at the end of the second time, he goes, I'm gonna stick to the day or whatever.
Day shift.
And then
So
you
he-
obviously see him
Day
in the
Yeah.
day.
But he says, I'm gonna stick to the day shift. So he thought for some reason it would be better to do a night shift behind like a bowling alley. And he's like, nah,
the
I don't know
drunks in
why.
it.
The Friday rush. I'll go back to that, mate.
Get the
You've got to
drunks.
pay your dues. You've got to pay your dues on the mime circuit. You've got to do the shit
Yeah.
spots for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's some one of the jokes that I did like is the bit when he he moves the car out of the way for Christopher Lloyd, and then the guy comes over. He's like, "What are you doing? You know what we're gonna do to you?" And he goes, "Well, let me guess. You're gonna blah blah." And the thing that I did at the beginning, but then he just goes, "No, what are you talking about? This is the '90s. We're gonna sue you."
Yeah,
I genuinely thought that was good.
My favorite joke was the car alarm joke. Because again,
why does it have sentience?
Yeah, it's fully sentient. Like this incredible leap in technology in the early 90s.
It's open. It's got no roof on it.
It's
so
convertible,
you can literally it's a convertible.
And if you pull the alarm out, it stops and just pleads for its life.
Begging for its life.
But the funniest thing is that's Hulk Hogan pulls a car alarm out of the car, but he has nothing to do with selling the gag. I think that's why it's funny. It's all about like the car alarm begging for its voice, but he just looks at it, and I was a bit like, yeah, everything else he kind of does. Like when he talks to the cat, the girl with the cat at the tree at the end. I don't know if it's like overacting or anything, but the way he kind of like runs over with his big muscly body and like crouches down and just goes, "Again?" Like.
And then you've got the grandma squeeze. Sorry, go on.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's the same with early on. I feel like this is genuinely Hulk trying to deliver a really good performance.
Game? What game? I mean, what a great fucking delivery after he's just like knowing he played a game. Oh, this movie's amazing.
And then the flag comes out of the fucking...
the flag literally surrenders to his dominance. Like, that's amazing. That was funny. It took me off guard a little bit. Again, I don't know if this was 90s B movie or part of the joke. I love it when he's in the garden and he's using like a bird bath and something else heavy as weights and stuff like that.
Like a tool thing.
Yeah, something two things really heavy and stuff. And he puts the bird bath down, and it's right before Shelley Duvall screams. He goes to put down the other thing, and it's really heavy. You can see his muscle, and then she screams, and he almost picks it up and like throws it the other side as if it's just like a pillow. And like, I don't know if that was like just bad shit movie making or not, but again, made me laugh.
I had there was a couple of moments I remember them vividly when I've watched this before. I like when Christopher Lloyd puts on the suit and then he goes to try and save that girl. It's a bit weird, like, because she's literally about to be raped, which is like, it's weird to show like a comedy scene in that, like where he's like, "Hey, put her down," and you're like, okay, this is a bit weird. Like,
you got two more awkward things after that, where she's like, "Oh, how can I repay you? I'll do anything." Anything? And you're like, all right. And then he's like, "No, saving people was fine." And then his like, for some reason, his crotch plate glows. So I don't know why Shep programmed that.
That was weird.
And he walks away in the background.
Like...
to give a boner joke and stuff as well. But like, does everyone know when Shep has a boner then? Because his lights flash and stuff. And
maybe. Yeah. I really like the bank scene. That was a really good moment. Where everyone's
so I got a question. Yeah. So the bounty hunters come in and freeze the crowd basically, and then for some reason we have Christmas music. I guess because they're frozen. Makes no fucking sense.
Well, it's not the bounty hunters, is it? It's the guys. It's the guys that he stopped them from raping the woman.
Yeah, it's like they're not the bounty hunters. Yeah, it's the
people are frozen. Are they frozen in time or actually like frozen in ice?
No, frozen. It's a freeze gun.
Yeah, it is like ice.
In ice, okay.
No one's concerned though. Like,
no, but I like the idea it's frozen in.
They're fine.
Yeah, but like, Shep carries Christopher Lloyd out and stuff, and his body wobbles and stuff, which I was like, well, I like the idea that he's frozen in time because that would work. Again, it's probably 90s shitty movie, and then like the next bit when he's in the car, but obviously Shep can't bend him into a seat, so he just sticks out the sunroof. Got a massive laugh from me just because again he's like knocking around and like bouncing, and I was like, is he again the Christmas music probably was like, it's frozen in ice, but I'm like, I think some people were blinking as well.
One thing I did have, like, I know that this is just me talking about a movie that is fucking got Hulk Hogan in it, but like the suit he has is like a muscle amplifier. That's what Christopher Lloyd said. But the guy can literally throw a skateboard into space without it. Why does he need it?
Yeah.
He doesn't need it.
I noticed that he throws a skateboard into space. He rolls a car over with people inside. But then when he saves a woman from a mugging, he just sort of awkwardly picks the guy up on his shoulders and dumps him in a dumpster.
Yeah.
And that skateboard gag comes back again, like 20 minutes later when the bounty hunters are looking for him. Goes through space again. Something they could have easily left out. But I was like, this movie's got such comedy. I do want to point the one constant bit, which I think he's the arsehole in like every 90s movie is Larry Miller, the bad guy, his boss.
Knock off Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, if you don't know who he is, Larry Miller, Google, you'll instantly recognize the face. Yeah. He's fucking perfect in everything he was saying. I love when Ross was saying like the crystals that they were after, because suddenly at one point he's talking to Christopher Lloyd, and he's like, "Hey Chris, look at these crystals." And you're like, "Oh, okay, they're going to be important in this film."
Yeah.
But shh. Like,
I liked also the. It was basically that bank scene was the first ever mannequin challenge, so that's good.
Hey!
That's a precursor to the. The weird So there's he's like talking to these investment bankers or whatever, and he's like
all night.
He tells Charlie to like, he's been talking to them. And he's been talking to them from night until morning. Like, how long? Like 6 hours he's just been
Japanese
talking.
movies as well. Because he's like, I'm out of Japanese movies. And like, they have a couple of funny lines as well in the subtitles where they say something bad, but the translator says nice, something nice, and then he says like coward. Like, that was quite good.
Yeah.
There was some like cool effect like in it as well that I really liked. Like when Undertaker goes through all the different floors. Like, I was like, oh, that's like quite a cool effect. I know, I mean, you can clearly see he's on like a conveyor belt thing going sideways. But I was like, for 90s to do a practical effect like that was quite good.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Dead Man Ramsey bit was really good as well. Like you making him have a baby voice, that was good.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I think, but as soon as they didn't talk, I was like, something's going to be weird with their voices. But
how does the CEO become a CEO of like an architect company and not know anything about architecture?
No, I
don't know.
I love it.
I don't know.
I love the
probably the best bit of commentary in the whole movie, to be honest.
yeah. I love at the end when
there was
Shep
commentary in this movie. I feel like Ross and Andy are really trying to sell us some commentary in this movie, but I'm not ready to accept there's any yet.
No, it's all normal.
Yeah. And
oh my God.
yeah, that was pretty much it. Those are all my favourite bits and weirdest bits.
There's another classic joke. I don't know if it's not classic at all. Something that literally made me laugh is when he's taking a nap, and then there's too much noise outside, so he has to go outside, and he screams quiet. And he doesn't scream or act. He says it in the only way Hulk Hogan does. And then a cricket chirps, and he kind of like looks off screen. He's like, "Shut up!" And it does. And he got a little laugh again. But what's even funnier is he's taking a nap in like, jeans and a t-shirt, and he hears people outside. Before he goes outside, he puts on like another vest, even though it's like it's it's fucking like hot outside. Why? And he doesn't need it. It's just. Oh man,
so shit.
Love this movie.
We're getting a real insight into the levels of Andy's humour here today. I think it's a joy to behold.
I mean, they got the classic nightclub that turns on with one switch. The one switch that turns on all the electronics, and it's like, amazing. What I love. I think what I love most about this movie was it's 90 minutes. It's like it's the perfect 90s movie of 90 minutes where like any more would be like, oh my God, any less would be an
improvement. This I've been waiting to come back onto, because Ross made a point earlier in this that it's 30 minutes of story, 30 minutes of jokes, and I still don't know what the other 30 minutes of this fucking movie is. Like,
it's Chris Lloyd driving to work and not being able to get past the red
How
light.
How did they get Christopher Lloyd?
What's even weirder? Yeah,
he's done Back to the Future.
Yeah, this was 1 year after Back to the Future 3. So he didn't need the money. He was always like
which
famous.
to be fair was shit. So
sometimes
at
like
least
actors
he's kind of trying to find a good film again.
I thought maybe
No, go.
I was going to say I thought maybe this was like a year before Back to the Future like 1. Because some actors do a movie and then they get famous, and then that bad movie comes out to ride the coattails of what's made them famous. So I thought it was maybe something a bit like that. But no, man, it was. I guess he just really liked the script. Again, like if you saw the script, you might think it's quite naked.
All the money.
Yeah,
the money.
Or like
it's had
a studio
million...
deal. Like it might have been all right, you got Back to the Future and it was a favour, but we're gonna have 3 movies in our back pocket that you can't say no to.
Yeah. That's a good
the old
shout,
Disney contracts of old.
Yeah,
we own you for 10 years. You will do every movie we say.
Yeah.
Because this is New
any
Line
more
Cinema as
final
well.
thoughts?
Like, this is a huge production company with a big budget for 1991 behind it of 11 million. Like, although we did joke 10 million of that probably went to Vince McMahon. Like, but
Yeah.
And then 1 million went to Hulk. So they were like, oh shit, we got like a fiver. Okay.
Yeah.
I love the end when, because the whole point of the movie, actually, like the whole point of the movie is Shep needs to rebuild his ship or something, doesn't he? Like recharge his ship.
Yeah.
And he can't leave. And then right in the movie, he's on top of what I guess is Charlie's work building. Why? How? Like, how do they get a spaceship up to the top of that building?
Ask questions. It's Suter's ship, I'm guessing.
Up the elevator.
It's got a spaceship landing pad, obviously.
And then, oh my god! So there's two obvious connections as well in the movie that like just radiate. How did they should have award nominated for Oscars? Like the fucking connection between Shep and Christopher Lloyd. Normally, it turns into a buddy cop, a buddy movie. Except they just don't do the buddy part. I think they forget to make them friends. So at the end, when there's supposed to be a big dramatic goodbye, they're like, "See ya, all right, bye." Oh, we better handshake. Oh, bye. I'm a bit annoyed that they didn't give actually Shep the photo that they took earlier in the film, as in like here's something to remember us, and he hangs it up, on the dashboard of the ship or something. But whatever. Also,
he's flying off with the hot blonde receptionist. He don't need reminding of buddy.
Oh yeah, because you could just feel the sexual chemistry off those scenes. When I like at the end, I was a bit like, "Who's she?" And then I was a bit like, I had to when I rewatched it, I was like, "Oh, right, there's okay."
The only other character in the movie.
Yeah.
But at one point, she's got a gun holding them up. Like I was like, "Is she turning evil now?" Like,
no, because he's making a big racket outside the CEO's boardroom. Like,
he pins Charlie up, and then later on in the film. They're like, I think they've got something, or they're in a warehouse, and she's got a gun to them, and then they're like, "Oh, well, whatever, see ya," and they run away.
Oh no,
it's great. Oh man, I love this movie.
It's good. Right, I think that's it. Any more things?
No, I think you've covered it all. Seems apt that the person who's going to score it in the same bracket as some of the best movies in history is the one that leads this chat,
Movie reviews are subjective, and we all have to accept that. Even if it fills us with
wrong.
urge to kill rising.
So, thank you guys. I think it's now time to get your sequels pitched. So the rules are as normal as ever. You always have a certain amount of time, however much you want, really. But don't bore me. You have to win me over, and then I may have some questions. I may not. Let's start with Drew because he's the illest, and
Yeah, I might. I don't know if I'll make it to the end. Okay, so mine is titled Suburban Commando 2. The synopsis is soccer dad Tim Brown, played by John Cena, gets blasted into space where he is mistakenly identified as the Rex Ramsey, son of the legendary Shep Ramsey, where he becomes the leader of the resistance against the evil Lord Zebulon.
Oh.
So, originally it was John Cena playing himself, but then I was like, I've got to get... He's not... If you think Suburban, actual John Cena doesn't really fit the bill. Okay, so... soccer dad Tim Brown's life is filled with the ordinary chaos of suburban living, school drop-off, soccer practice, and a demanding... I wrote boss. Like a demanding schedule. Oh my God. He's a loving father. He's got 2 kids. He's supportive of his wife, Sarah, and she's got a good career, but he struggles with assertiveness and self-confidence, finds himself overshadowed by people. He feels like he should be more of a man. We have jokes like people are like, but you're so buff. How can you not feel manly? And it's like, what's the point of being able to lift 300 pounds if I can't lift up my family, So one fateful day, Tim, trying to be more assertive, insists that he wants to take his family camping to New Mexico, near where he grew up, hoping to strengthen their bond. As they leave the nearest town after getting supplies, someone comments that they're sure they've heard of this town. The camera tracks sideways to keep their car in view as it drives away, revealing the town's name, Roswell, New Mexico. Unbeknownst to them, the spot Tim chooses to camp at is located near an abandoned research facility where they studied the aliens from Roswell. Tim wants to be manly and doesn't want to use the camping heater, so in the middle of the desert where there are very few trees, he goes to look for firewood, as his family seem bored. As he's wandering the desert, he stumbles across the facility and starts poking around and activates a wormhole and ends up on a distant, technologically advanced planet named Zirconia. He arrives in the middle of a war-torn city where the alien inhabitants, who all look human and speak perfect American English, mistake Tim for Rex Ramsey, the legendary interstellar warrior and son of Shep Ramsey and a receptionist, due to an uncanny resemblance between the two. Tim's arrival sparks hope among the Zirconians, who believe he has come to save them from the tyrannical General Zorgon, who has been terrorizing their planet, who will be played by Christopher Lloyd in lots and lots of makeup. Tim tries to escape his new responsibility, confiding in shifty pickpocket Gizmo, and I want her to be played by Kate Hudson because I watched Glass Onion because I needed to watch a good film after I watched this, and she's just great. Gizmo, however, sees an opportunity to make some money and makes a deal with him that she'll help him get home in return for him kind of giving her legitimacy amongst the people of Zirconia. So Tim agrees, and he's thrust into many hilariously dangerous situations. Zirconia is filled with like weird aliens and high-tech weaponry and unusual customs that challenge his suburban sensibilities. As their adventure continues, he becomes sympathetic to the plight of the Zirconian people and starts to become the hero they want him to be. His soccer coaching skills surprisingly come in handy as he leads the Zirconian resistance in unconventional ways, using tactics inspired by the sport. He instills discipline in the ranks of the unorganised resistance by making sure they keep their barracks clean and organised, with lots of callbacks to things that he said when he was cleaning his gross teenage son's room. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, here's the big twist. Sarah and the kids embark on their quest to find Tim. When they realise he's missing, they easily follow his footprints through the desert and activate the portal as well, showing up like 90 minutes behind him, and they spend the whole movie showing up just as he leaves. But they have arrived and they land right in front of the real Rex Ramsey, also played by John Cena. He's deeply frustrated because he's very serious. He's there to like lead the resistance, and every time he shows up, they're just like, no, the real Rex just did. Who the fuck are you, dick? So he has to start learning humility and learns to put others first. And then the climax of the film, Tim ends up facing off against General Zorgon in a hilariously epic showdown, I promise. Using his newfound assertiveness and creative problem-solving skills, Gizmo gets captured because of course she does. When all looks lost, Tim's family and Rex appear, and Tim has to give the orders and Rex has to accept the orders, and they manage to confuse Zorgon because they look the same and basically just like jumping out in different places around the room while Zorgon's like, huh? What? And then he sends his whole army away to catch them, and then they all surround him. The whole family gets round. They save Gizmo from the boiling acid and push Zorgon in it, and everyone laughs and doesn't for a moment contemplate the horrific things that have happened or what they've done to survive. In the end, Tim bids a tearful goodbye to Gizmo, hands off responsibility to Rex without the rest of the planet knowing what's up, and the Brown family return home to Earth where they enjoy a more harmonious life together forever. The end.
Nice. Well done. You got through it. I don't have any questions for you.
Yeah.
Rest now.
Who disturbs my slumber?
Okay, thank you, Drew. Matt, let's go for you.
Okay, mine is
What's
titled
your title?
Suburban Commando 2, Ramsey's Prime Nightmares. Good title, huh? It's the year 2023, and Ramsey must return to Earth to ensure that his future is safe from the hands of some primeval baddies. Hey, see where this is going, can't you? We open with cheap CGI graphics to keep it in 2023, and we see a man being held hostage similarly to the movie 1, and someone buff taking out goons similar to movie 1. It's revealed the man being held hostage is in fact Ramsey Sr., and it's Ramsey Jr., played by the Chad Gable, kicking ass and taking names. He makes it to the cockpit, but the alien lord points out his mistake. He didn't disable the big laser gun. Horror on their faces as the big laser gun blows up Earth. The Ramsey faces, pure horror, cut to titles. Then we cut back and it's 1 week earlier. We see Chad just being a normal guy working for Charlie's company. He's average, a bit of a nobody, but Charlie loves him, and he works as one of the assistants alongside Charlie's daughter, whatever her name was. Charlie's company, it turns out, works in quantum physics and spacey stuff. One day, Charlie receives a message from Ramsey himself, asking him how his son's doing, and we cut to Gable just doing assistant-y stuff. And he asks is he showing any signs, because it's around their 30th birthday that their development kicks in Ramsey Land. Nope, all good, until all of a sudden, Chad Gable goes and he moves a water cooler, but in trying to lift it, he throws it out of a window. Whoa! Ramsey says, I'm on my way. So Act 1 of the movie is very funny comedy shenanigans between Hulk Hogan and Chad Gable, lots of silly wrestling anecdotes, etc., and Charlie's mansion suffering carnage while they're training. Gable also gets feelings and becomes very interested in Charlie's daughter, assuming that she's like 10 years older but hot, so it's not weird. Anyways, Ramsey is tracked by some aliens that want Ramsey's blood to super soldier their soldier, but his blood's too old and weak, but Gable's is prime. Sponsorship opportunities throughout this movie, by the way. KSI and Logan Paul are the aliens. They're aliens, but then they put on the KSI and the Logan Paul disguises. So Act 2 is the hunting of the Ramseys. Daddy Ramsey is aware, albeit too late, that he was followed, and he tries to hide Ramsey Jr. This leads to chaos with KSI and Logan Paul destroying the research labs and the mansion of Charlie. He's devastated, he has a heart attack, and he dies! Daughter and son both blame the Ramseys, but the daughter forgives them. The son, however, gives up their location in rage, as well as swearing vengeance. The son is definitely the big bad guy in the third movie, if there is one. Anyway, Act 2 ends with Ramsey sacrificing himself to a modified tag team finisher from the aliens, so that Ramsey Jr. can escape. They tell Ramsey Jr. if he doesn't come to them within 3 days, they will destroy Earth and find another way to prime up their soldiers. So, cue crazy Act 3. Thankfully, the daughter's forgiven Ramsey Jr. and they kiss and stuff. And then they work on the quantum deflector that was designed to deflect big laser guns and stuff and make it look like the planet's destroyed, but actually it's not. But that's preventing further lasers because it only works once. So it's genius, and it's really, really handy to tell the film. So once that's all complete, he takes his dad's ship up to the alien ship, and we rejoin the movie in the very first scene. It's cyclical. Whoa, cool. Everything plays out as before. The Earth is destroyed, and we see the horror on their faces, genuine on Hulk's. But Gable then laughs and kicks the hell out of his captors. Hulk does some stuff too, but it's not about him, it's about his son now. Lots of WWE moves. We will give the Hulk Hogan leg drop through an alien computer table, and then some like random bubble pod that could be an elimination chamber pod. They get smashed through that, and it ends with the aliens tapping out in submission and agreeing to fly away and never return. They do a blood pact to make it all legal in the galactic law for safety. Gable heads back to Earth to make Ramsey Jr. Juniors with Charlie's daughter. Fuck off for the age issues and that. And Charlie's son lurks in a dark corner of the destroyed laboratory, working on something very sinister indeed.
Very nice. Nice. I don't have any questions for you either.
Awesome.
Because I'm going to wait until the arguments. Andy, what's yours?
Okay, mine is Suburban Commando 2, Space Urban Commandos. The correct title. All right, so Shep's son must save the galaxy from an evil The Rock with the help from a few friends. So we open on an awesome Star Wars-inspired space battle. A small spaceship takes on a whole fleet and then destroys the mother's ship and flies away victorious. We then see another ship resting on an asteroid, having watched the entire show, and we're introduced to Shep Ramsey's son, played by Santino Marella. And if you don't know him, He is a wrestler, but he's not anywhere as close as being as big as the Hulk Hogan. He's, no offense, relatively normal / small size. He starts to fly home, but the flight is so long he falls asleep and his ship crashes onto Earth, and he is found by Charlie, still played by Christopher Lloyd, who takes him home. When Ship wakes up, we get exposition about how Shep would visit Charlie often because obviously the connection they built in the first film was so strong. And once Shep became a dad, Charlie's kids would often baby / alien sit Ship. We then meet Charlie's kids, all grown up now, played by Dave Franco and Kaylee
Cuoco?
Good lord.
Cuoco.
Haley Cuoco.
It's even worse that I didn't write down her surname. Yeah. So I didn't even write her first name, so I surname because I forgot. So I'm literally guessing. We meet them, and Ship says more exposition basically about how Hulk Hogan founded something called the Universal Police, which is used to fight crime against everyone or all the aliens in the galaxy. Ship ran it for a few years after Shep died tragically in a big space battle. But now he's gone solo and he's basically a spaceman for hire, and he tells the family about over-the-top Rambo-type stories. Dave and Kaylee. Dave and Kaylee ask Ship to Shep. I should have not called him this. Kaylee and Dave ask Ship if he can take them up on his ship for a quick trip to space. And they say, ask Charlie if he wants to come along, but Charlie says he's too old now. He stays behind. So Ship takes Dave and Kaylee to a space bar, and Ship sees an alien crime boss, which Ship calls BACBA, which stands for Big Alien Crime Boss. They get a drink, and Ship starts to realize that all the aliens in the bar are crimers, which are aliens that belong to crime gangs, and slowly realizes they're in a crimer bar. They try to escape, but the place is raided by the Universal Police, and we meet Sergeant Maivia, played by The Rock. Ship tries to sneak out, but Maivia catches him and tells everyone in the bar about how Ship was such a terrible job when he was in charge of the Universal Police. He was fired and replaced by Maivia, who was actually his number 2. And he's been AWOL for years, but he didn't think Ship would turn to a life of crime. Ship tries to explain what's going on, but an alien runs, causing a fight to break out between the aliens and police, leaving Ship and the kids time to escape in their ship. Stupid name. Ship sees on his space computer that all 3 of them have now been marked criminals. The kids obviously want to go home, but Ship says the Universal Police scanned space so they'll be able to detect his ship before he made it back to Earth. They got no chance. It should be fine, though. They should only have to wait between 5 and 100 years. The kids obviously can't do that, and Ship says, oh, okay, I might know someone who may be able to help. But the next scene is obviously them trying to disguise themselves from the Universal Police scanning the space. And we just see like a small asteroid. They get the Universal Police scan, they get a detection, but they think it's malfunction because when they look up, they just see a small asteroid just flying past. That's all it is. We go back to the bar and we see the Universal Police arresting the final few aliens, and Maivia sees BACBA. We understand there's a history between them and they don't trust each other. BACBA says he knows Maivia has a bigger plan, he just doesn't know what it is yet. But he walks away because he's such a powerful crime boss, think like Fat Tony style in The Simpsons. Ship
no
kids...
other cultural reference for us there, Andy.
No, I don't know why. That was the only thing that I thought of then and there. It's not even in my pitch. Just Fat Tony. Ship and the kids visit Ship's alien friend Neela, an anti-Universal Police kind of like protester who does the odd bit of fencing. Ship asks if they have anything, and Neela says they have an illegal cloaking device that they can help. The alien boots it up, it sends a signal out to the Universal Police, who then obviously come down and investigate it. Ship and the kids hide as Maivia enters, recognizes Neela, and arrests the alien, saying that the Universal Police are not only just arresting criminals, they're going for anyone who goes against the Universal Police. And when they're all gone, the universe will be free to start anew under my iron fist. And they fly away, and Ship feels bad, saying he got his friend kind of arrested, and the kids are suspicious about Maivia's speech, so they agree to follow. They have to sneak into the Universal Police headquarters, so we have a few funny scenes of them stealing costumes, trying to sneak in. We see a scene of Ship actually showing a skill, so he's not useless, whether it's pickpocketing or disguise in a voice or something, but, he does show a skill at this point. They get into Maivia's office and look for clues, and they find a video recording of Maivia in the style of like a winning speech where he says like basically his plan to arrest all the criminals and anyone who went against the Universal Police worked, and now they can rule the galaxy. Basically, they've got all the crime lords' weapons, none of the crime people, none of the people that's gonna go against them. So now they can rule. And then at the end, my Via fucks up, and we realize the recording is a blooper, and my Via kind of laughs, and some people off screen laugh, and he's like, "Oh, I'm totally gonna post this after." They find Neela and then try and break the alien out, but their cover is blown, and they have to escape before they break Neela out. They realize they need a plan, and Ship says he's figured it out, and we have like an Ocean's 11 style montage clip show thing of the plan working out step by step to save Neela and the universe. They get to execute the plan, but they fuck up on the first point, and the plan fails. They try to escape, but Dave Franco ends up getting arrested and thrown in the same jail as Neela. Ship and Kaylee have to go and see Backbur for help, saying Backbur can contact all the other crime gangs in the universe, and then they have the numbers to attack the Universal Police. Backbur says he doesn't believe Ship as he's an ex-Universal Police member, and accuses him of like trying to set him up, so he tells his goons to kill Ship. But before they do, two guards come in saying they've just captured a Universal Police ship using an illegal cloaking device scanning their planet. After some back and forth, the captured Universal Police people basically confirm Ivia's plan to take over the galaxy. Backbur apologizes to Ship and then agrees to help. And then we end with Ship and Kaylee flying to Myvia's ship, and then Myvia laughs. He's like, "Oh, it's just the one ship against all of us." Aha. And then obviously all the bad people arrive. Kaylee goes to rescue Dave and Neela and all the other captives as Ship goes off to fight Myvia. Myvia laughs because obviously he's so much fucking bigger than Ship. And Ship kind of says, has this whole speech about how Myvia always used to put him down basically and make him feel useless. But because of his new friends, he's realized he's not useless, and size isn't everything, basically. They fight, and it kind of looks like size is everything, as Ship is going to lose, but then he ends up winning by either outsmarting or using Myvia's like hubris against him. Ship calls off the massive space fight and gives like a good guy speech, which somehow appears on everyone's spaceships or earpieces, you know, that classic thing. About being a good person or good alien, and how he will go back to leading the Universal Police to do actual good in the universe, and then says, if you want to help, stay. If you don't, you've got 24 hours head start. And then we end with Ship taking the kids back home, saying he's got a lot of work to do as the leader of the Universal Police, clearing up the galaxy, and, oh, if only the kids could come, ha-ha. And the kids are like, oh, no, we should probably stay on Earth, ha-ha. And then they all run in the spaceship, wanting to be space commandos. For a third film. Yay!
Thank you for that pitch. It was longer than the actual movie itself, so you know that's impressive. Cool. I can't wait for you guys to argue about this. Not many suburban bits in
Space Urban.
Yeah, true. That's true.
That's why I called it Space
Loophole.
So
I need help. I need help to decide who is the winner.
Oh, I thought you just meant in general, and we knew that.
Yeah, I do also. So I want to hear what you think about everyone else's and why you think you should win. Go for it. Go for the jugular.
I'm going to jump in first and say I have no idea what the other two spoke about, and that may be a reflection on the quality of their pitches. It may not be. I am delirious and feverish. I remembered I laughed during both of them, so well done them. And I like mine. And I'll defend myself from any other attacks, but that's all I am qualified to add to this discussion. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
You go to bed now, Drew.
It's so close.
I can taste it.
Well, I feel like I might take it a little bit easier on our sick compatriot here.
No, go for the
sinners.
Go for the throat.
I am fucking John Cena. You're just cashing in on John Cena, like as if that's not been done a million times before.
Yeah, because he's fucking hilarious. John Cena's really funny. Who the fuck are the two that you've picked? Are they good actors? Are they funny?
Jack Gable is the hottest. One of the hottest exports. I only didn't go for LA Knight because he just needs to sign his contract extension.
Who?
So I went for Chad Gable instead. Any wrestling fan is going to know exactly who Chad Gable is, and he'll be there with John Cena in 10 years' time. Because
Any
he's
Fast and Furious fan is going to know who John Cena is.
Yeah, well, that's
Jesus
just
Christ.
easy. You're just playing the easy game of just using pre-recognized WWE talent. I'm bringing someone new into the fold, and I'm not bringing
but do
someone
we know he's
as
actually, like,
shocking
funny,
as
though?
Santino Marella. I can't
Do we know
believe
Chad
of
Gable
all
can like
the
act and
wrestlers
stuff like that?
you've
We
mentioned.
know
Marella.
Santino could possibly carry a film on his own. The amount of comedy
No,
he's done in like.
he can't carry a fucking
Absolutely.
watering can on his own.
I don't even know.
He's
yeah,
a
like Chad
terrible,
Gable. I
terrible
think I know his
wrestler.
face. I have no idea like what he can do. We know Santino can be funny, and he can do this part. He's done it a
one
lot
has
in
known
the fucking.
Santino Marella for about 10 years. Yours is falling apart at the
I'm
seams.
sorry, I
because
stopped
you
watching
brought in-
wrestling a while
you've
ago.
brought in-
But he's
well, this is a problem you've created.
That's why I don't know
isn't it?
Chad Gable. You got to have people with that, like everyone, the old school people
Ross
who know
will
as well.
understand the
Santino
reasoning
Marella.
behind picking Chad Gable as a future WWE Hall of Famer and as a future John Cena. He's young enough that he's still in his prime at WWE. He's not going to go off and make movies every year. We need the future exports.
He's
You
young
are
enough that he's,
Marella hasn't
he's young
been
enough that he's not
relevant
relevant to the wider public. Okay.
Well, there was a time
Yeah.
John Cena wasn't relevant to the wider public, and then
Yeah.
as he got older, he started making more films. We got to create some new blood from WWE for these
We're not-
franchises.
This
Otherwise,
this
we're gonna
isn't
run out
pitch myself as a wrestler's agent. It's pitch my sequel
this is-
movie.
soon. Pitch a wrestling.
That's what our podcast is
pitch
called.
a
Pitch
movie
my sequel
with
movie, the
wrestlers
podcast.
in. I am pitching.
You also had Hulk
the
Hogan,
best
which I
movie
don't
with
know
the
if
best
he's such a
wrestler
draw
choice in
these
it.
days.
Hulk Hogan, despite all the problems he's going through, has a certain niche attraction to it. At least I bring him back, and I downplay him through it all, really. It's all about Chad Gable. He just gets a couple of cameo bits where wrestling fans are like, oh, leg drop, through the alien monitor table, which is a
Yeah, but
genius
you're still going to
idea.
be, you still going to be
Really
headlining. You're
play
still
on
going
the
to be giving them
wrestling
money.
of
I
it.
don't know if people would like that.
Well, you know
think
what?
that's why I personally
Neither
felt-
would they like
that's why I
giving
killed
money
him
to
off in
someone
mine.
who hasn't been relevant for 20 years. So your argument's flawed. Plus, at least I don't call my fucking character Ship on a ship with Shep's
Yeah.
son. Like,
What can you?
do you
if
know
Shep
how
had a
lost I
son,
got
you
in
can
your
you can
pitch?
guarantee he would be like, "Yep, Ship." It would be
I
as
had
close to his name
replace
as fucking possible.
the word
Yeah.
ship with boat in my fucking listening because I couldn't follow your pitch because I didn't know where the fuck we were half the time.
That's
going
going
to
be half. That's going to be a lot of the comedy. Like
have
you've
to
got like
admit-
Ship, and he's going to be like, "Oh, where?" and duck.
That wasn't
like,
funny after the first 10 seconds of your pitch.
That's why in mine his son is called Rex, because I was like, oh, Shep is a dog's name. I need another dog's name.
No, Ship all the way.
Ship,
you know what?
ship,
Mine had
ship.
mine has
Didn't really
a
think
has
about
a
naming them
anti-bullying
because it's
message.
not about the names. That's for the writers
No.
to name them. Mine
And it's
is
about
all
what's
about
underneath, and what's underneath is I've got an
What, by
anti-bullying
getting a
message.
bunch of
That's
bad
why The Rock
guys to
took
follow him?
Santino's
Why
job.
doesn't he inspire good guys to follow him then? Why is it bad guys and criminals?
Because that's
that,
the
like,
thing. He
this
inspires the bad guys to
anti-bullying
do
thing?
good. And some at the
Well, I
end, some of the
feel
bad
like it
guys, when he
just
says,
inspires
"I'll
the
give you
bad
a
guys
head
to not
start,"
get
some of them
killed.
don't. Some of them stay.
Hey, bad guys, don't die because of the Universal Police. Come and fight them with me. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
basically
yeah.
fight with
Death-
me
death
and stop them from
or-
taking over the galaxy.
Death or not
which
death.
makes
I
the
think
bad
I'll
guys
pick
good
not
guys.
death, please. It's the Eddie Izzard sketch of cake or death, isn't it? Cake or death. I'll pick cake, please.
Oh, cake, please.
Like, that's basically you just made a movie out of that sketch. So. And who's Backber? Which actors are playing? Who's Dwayne Johnson? Is he Backber? Is he the big
No.
pop guy?
No, he's
Who's
Mike Villa.
Backber played by?
Anyone, he's gonna be an alien. They're like the
Oh,
two
yeah,
kids,
right,
Dave Franco
okay,
and
so
Kaylee Kukuku,
That's
is the only
important.
human.
Kaylee, whatever her surname is that I didn't bother researching. Like, it sounds like you spent a lot of time thinking about something.
I can't even announce her name if I knew what it was.
Well, either way, I'm giving you a proper sequel that's still based on Earth. I know that Rex was kind of half a bit based on Earth, but went off to other planets. That was a nice touch. But, at least with this one, it's the most honest. Again, I bring you an honest sequel. Not just a
You're
whatever
dragging
the
your
fuck
story.
I want a sequel.
You're dragging your
Mine
story.
isn't
Act
dragging,
2 is a
mine's
massive
really
cat and
fun.
mouse chase.
And
Like
it's
that's
got a
gonna get so
shitload of
boring.
sponsorship. You make so much money from my film as well. Mine runs through a sponsorship
Oh
wire,
god,
which is
no! I'm not going to come and
fantastic.
fucking see your movie with Logan Paul and KSI in it, fucking sponsoring.
we
fucking
know.
Well,
I know
you know
you
what,
wouldn't,
for all
Andy,
those
but
kids-
fucking so many people
But all those kids
It's
that were
irritating.
fucking, who's going to bring you the fucking money
You can say that
bags?
about anything. You can say about like mine or Dro's that we're just going to make so much
I'm
money.
telling you now, they won't come to see Santino Marella in a fucking film because they're all too young to know who the fuck he is. At least he's got
And
John
everyone
Cena
too
in
old
there.
isn't going
At
to know
least
who
John
Chad
Cena makes
fucking
sense.
Gable is because we stopped watching wrestling 10 fucking years ago.
Well, I'm not targeting you, am I, adult? I'm targeting
I'm not
kids.
targeting you.
Well, who are you targeting? Because I'm old
Everyone
enough to
but
remember
you.
Santino Marella
No,
and I wouldn't
that's
go
the
and
thing.
Shut
watch
up!
We
it.
know
You don't get to
Santino's
criticise
funny
my
already.
film. You don't get to criticise my film. It's not for
Yeah,
you.
I know,
So
it's
shut
so
your
bad.
damn mouth.
Your film's bad. Your film's bad. No,
Your
Santino
films are
is. We know
terrible.
Santino's
My
funny.
film is
No
great.
idea what Chad Gable can do. Never heard him speak.
It's Santino, just to let you know. There's
Well, there you go. You're not even
Marilla.
pronouncing
Well,
it
what have I
right.
said?
How
You said
disrespectful.
Santina.
How disrespectful.
Oh,
That's
no,
why
that's
you
when
can't
he.
pick this guy.
That's when he
This
entered the
picture
women's battle
has
royale.
no
Yes,
respect
yeah,
for the
yeah.
actors that he wants
Yeah.
in it. This guy has no respect. At least Drew pronounces John Cena's name right.
Mine's got a nice anti-bullying message. It's about picking
No, it
your friends
doesn't.
up.
It has a
It's a
cake
funny
or
space
death
battle.
message.
It's what we need. It's got The Rock being an evil guy, which everyone loves. And then
It's not in Suburbia, though, is it? At least two
No,
of us
it's
are giving you
called
Suburbia.
Space Urban.
in
That's why it's in
Suburban
space.
Commando.
That's not a
It's
fucking
Well, you
different.
can't
word.
use. You
I know,
can't
but it's
use
different. Your guys,
Suburban
your
Commando
guys are
too,
just the
then,
same,
can you?
basically. Mine takes space all in
Brand
space.
recognition.
It's different.
That's
Yours
like-
has
that's like
Space
saying
Urban
that-
Commando has no brand recognition
It
whatsoever.
will after the movie. Yeah.
No,
After,
it won't.
after the movie,
that's like-
brilliant.
Yeah,
That's like
when
saying
it
that
builds a
Aquaman
following,
2
then everyone will be like, yeah,
Spaceman.
Space Urban.
Like,
What's that?
this
That's not
is
a word.
terrible.
Have you not
It's
seen
a
the movie?
terrible
Watch
premise.
the movie, and then
Terrible
that's how it
premise.
spreads. That's how it
Suburban
spreads. We don't even need
Commando is
money
in
on marketing,
Suburban.
because everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?" Go watch it. Go on, go watch it. Go on.
Crikey,
You know what?
crikey,
I think
crikey.
the audience are the real winners today.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Franchisees realizing just how wide a berth you can cast.
Okay, I think I made my decision.
I'm glad.
I was going into it thinking, I like some bits of all of them. And then your argument swayed me. So in third place is Andy. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
sorry, Andy.
Space
You had
Urban
me at
Commando
the
just
beginning. I
wasn't
was
there.
like, oh, yeah, cool. We've got like... I don't know how... I agree with Matt in terms of how much of a draw Santina Marella... And also
How much
being
is Chad
Hulk
Gable?
Hogan.
Who the fuck is
Yeah,
Chad
no,
Gable?
don't worry. I'll get on to Matt. But also, I don't know if he kind of looks like Hulk Hogan's son.
That's what makeup is
Um,
for. Jesus, have you
I
forgot
don't-
about makeup and costume?
Oh, so
he's like
you're
a
gonna
brunette.
Yes.
Anyway.
Can you imagine Santino with a fucking golden handlebar mustache and fucking like a mullet?
I could in a WWE.
He's not going to be his normal self.
I could imagine that in a WWE WrestleMania, like goes to Hollywood mock like space thing, but I couldn't see that as an actual movie. I'm sorry. In second place, this is hard. Do I go with Drew's total, kind of like a soft reboot? I would say maybe. Or do I go with Matt's? With Prime.
I love that Andy is even sat there like just trying to add
Go
his
for
sway
Drew's.
now.
Drew's is a standalone movie more than a sequel, but it's better than Matt's. It's got more of a plot and more of an actual story.
Well, there you go. I got to remember that one, Andy Henry.
I didn't want to say that in the debate section, but
Why? That was the perfect time to
because
say
it
that,
would
you
have given
fucking
they would have
idiot.
given Drew the win. Drew's movie's good. It's more of a standalone than a sequel, and it's got more of an actual story than Matt's. Where Matt's is just a bit like they want to get the super soldier serum, and then do at the end, and it's just like nothing happens in between.
Well, they don't. But they don't.
That's why I was like, your act 2 is just a giant cat and mouse. It'd be like, okay, but what else is there? Is there like why is
What would
Chad
you
and the
describe
female
that? Anyway,
that
this
relationship?
is going off
why?
tangent. I am waiting to hear the results from our rightful host.
Okay. In second place is Drew.
can't believe it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I know you don't care. You don't care.
I care.
It's your-
I just have no. I'll take it that entirely as correct. But you made the right decision.
No, I liked yours, and you were going to win. I was just like, it's a good movie. I would like to see that. If it was like a reboot of the franchise, I'd like to see it. So this week's winner is Matt with his KSI Logan Paul Prime Eaters
Money.
and
Just
Chad
bringing the
Gable.
money. And Chad Gable, who will genuinely be a bona fide recognised name, I believe.
In the movies or in
there we
wrestling?
In movies one day. I can see
Well
it.
done, Matt. Well
Thank
done.
you
Well
very
done.
much.
Wait, all
Yeah,
right.
well
What
done, Matt.
are we doing next episode?
Hi everyone, it is Drew here, no longer with the plague, which is a great relief. We've decided that I should jump in here because our next episode isn't going to be what we initially slated, and in fact, our next episode is going to be our last one. At least for the foreseeable future, there's always a possibility that maybe we'll come back. But as it stands, for now, for the foreseeable future, our final episode will be our live show that we're doing at the Cheerful Earful Podcast Festival in London on Sunday the 5th of November. So if you've missed us talking about that so far and you're able to get to London for 2:30 on Sunday the 5th of November, we would absolutely love to see anyone who can make it to give the show a lovely big send-off. I'm going to drop a slightly more detailed explanation of why we're calling it a day with the show, which will be going up as its own mini tiny little episode that you'll see in the feed probably the same time you see this one, so you can get a bit more context. But yes, we are going to be doing Face Off, the movie, it should be said, that kicked off this entire podcast. The first time we were sat around a fire camping and we came up with the idea and we were like, right, let's just mess about around this fire and see what we come up with. We did it with Face Off and we never recorded that. So that's what we are ending with this coming Sunday. And we will have the audio up in the feed for any and all of you to enjoy if you weren't able to make it to see us live. So, yeah, I'm going to call it there and hopefully see some of you on Sunday, and we'll have our big emotional goodbye, I'm sure, at the end of the next episode. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoy the next one, and take care of yourselves. Love you. Bye.